What's up, everybody? It's your boy Trackmaster Thomas here, and today this is going to be what's possibly my most biggest review yet, until another one takes over. So here we are, reviewing what is possibly one of the worst Thomas movies of all time. Is it really that bad? Let's find out and see. I remember when I was a young teenager still into Thomas, I heard about Misty Island Rescue, and I remember giving it a watch a year later. But back then, I thought the movie was pretty good because, well, it's Thomas. Fast forward to 2025, after hearing this YouTuber named DreamlineEngine75 saying how bad it is, not only him, but so many people in the Thomas community saying what a shit movie it is. I basically thought to myself, it's not that bad, is it?
You serious?
So I went hunting for it, and I couldn't find it. But I did find a playlist where the film was uploaded, just uploaded into separate parts so I can give it a watch. And yeah, it's bad. I know it's a review, and I shouldn't give away my thoughts too soon, but we'll get to that later. Before I get carried away, let's talk about the history of the film. 2010 was an interesting year for Thomas and Friends. It was to celebrate the 65th anniversary of the Railway series. It was also around the time Mattel took over the license to produce Thomas toys after Hit Toy Company's license expired. But in the same year, they released a special Misty Island Rescue. The film was released by Hit Entertainment, directed by Greg Tiernan, I hope I pronounced his name right, and written by Sharon Miller. Yes, I am fully aware this film is around the time of the Sharon Miller era, but this was just before Mattel took over the franchise entirely. You know, before the Brenner era, Big World, Big Adventures, and All Engines Go. But unlike Bwaba and All Engines Go, this film is better than both of those eras. And that's being generous. Not gonna lie though, Brenner era is a lot better if you ask me. Okay, that's enough history lesson now. Let's get on to the plot. Let's start off with the intro to this film. I won't give too much away just yet when it comes to my thoughts. Straight away, however, it feels like they ripped off the Pirates of the Caribbean theme song. But it feels slowed down. I kid you not. It might not sound exactly like it, but I thought I'd point that out. So the film starts off with a new sort of search and rescue center being built. I'm not sure if it's just me or right away the writing feels a bit rushed. We get Harold flying in and Thomas compliments him about saving some climber. I'm just guessing here.
Thank you, sir. A kind of a tight squeeze coming into land, sir.
That's why Sodor needs a search and rescue center.
Wait, I'm a bit confused here. Topham's telling Harold they're building it so he can have a place to land. I thought it's being built to help people.
A proper place and a proper space to help people in trouble.
Oh, I get it now. But that didn't make much sense anyway, so the engines get to work on getting this Joby wood to the new rescue center, which is what it's being built by the way. I did a bit of research on Joby wood, and it does not exist apparently. In the movie, it's the strongest type of wood, but that goes to the Australian bullock, if that's how you pronounce it. I don't understand why. Why would you put this in? For copyright reasons? So the wood gets delivered to Brindle Docks. Diesel comes in after Sir Topham had mentioned an engine who's useful by the end of the day. We'll pull the Joby logs. After Diesel gives a statement about how useful he is also, Thomas says a little something that's racist?
No, Diesel! I'm sure Sir Topham Hatt means a really useful steamy. You'll never be that.
Okay, I get Steam and Diesels are rivals in this show, but come on, Thomas, you gotta make a quote like that. So after hearing such a comment from Thomas, Diesel decides to be really useful and shunts the Joby logs to the rescue center. Not till Thomas tried to stop him, and of course, Diesel ignores him and races to the rescue center with the logs. During the chase though, I know Diesel is based on an OH shunter, but how is he going so fast? Like, he is going faster than Thomas. Like, Thomas couldn't even catch up to him. Yes, Thomas is supposedly a shunter too, but he has his own branch line. The real E2 class even pulled trains. Okay, I'll stop now. So after an unsuccessful attempt to catch Diesel, he accidentally rolls the logs over the unfinished bridge. Thomas comes to his rescue. Hooray, I guess. I don't know why there would be an unfinished bridge there, but anything happens, I guess. Not to mention there's no danger sign or anything.
Diesel! What can I do?
Really, Thomas? Isn't it obvious? Diesel's about to fall off an unfinished bridge and you asked that? Jesus help me. After Thomas saved Diesel from a death-defying plunge in the ocean, Thomas was rewarded by visiting a search and rescue center on the mainland. Apparently Spencer's going too, and one of the dock workers told Thomas he had to wait on the next ship. Thomas agreed, right? No, Thomas sees a raft with tracks on it and decides to ride on it. With rusty chains. Oh sure, let me ride on a raft that's got rusty chains on it that's gonna snap at any minute. Nothing bad will happen, right? Well, Thomas takes a ride on the raft, the chain breaks, and he's now stranded.
Fizzling fireboxes! The chain to the steamboat has snapped! Help!
Thomas whistled and wheezed, but no one could hear him. The steamboat steamed away. Thomas was left on his raft.
Bro, not even the ship can hear him, and I know Thomas's whistle is damn loud. Then he just falls asleep. Well, unless sound can't travel in fog, then that's understandable, I guess, as to why they couldn't hear him. Then dawn breaks. Thomas wakes up after the waves take him to this unknown destination, and he runs around this mysterious island to try and find out where he is. But as Thomas chuffs around the mystery island, he's apparently being stalked by 3 unknown engines who are... Oh god, these 3 annoying shitheads. That must mean Thomas is on Misty Island. Oh wait, he is. Then we are introduced to the 3 logging locos, Dash, Bash, and... Ferdinand.
That's right.
Shut the fuck up. All 3 were playing with Thomas, but Thomas didn't like how they were playing along with him. If I'm honest, I would have acted the same way. Then as the film progresses on, Sir Topham Hatt gets a phone call and finds out Thomas is missing and calls a search party to look for Thomas. While Sodor is on a search party for Thomas, back on Misty Island, Thomas spots some Joby logs on the island and actually makes the logging locos work as hard as he does back on Sodor. And the logging locos complain to him they couldn't work as hard as he can and they didn't have enough oil. Yada yada yada. But after that, they have Thomas go through a shake bridge.
The bridge did shake, but it didn't break. Perhaps I was wrong to say no for so long.
Oh, now you agree with them on something, bro? Yeah, Thomas pretty much disagreed with the logging locos on what they would do and all this sort of stuff. They showed him old Wheezy, who apparently throws logs.
You're next to take a dip!
Oh, you're no fun.
Bro, I'd get off that island immediately. However, Whiff does show Sir Topham Hatt some old tunnel next to the search and rescue center that literally leads to Misty Island. So there's a tunnel that literally travels miles upon miles under the ocean that leads to Misty Island? What?
We could wait for a boat, or we could try the tunnel.
Thomas's boiler bubbled.
A tunnel? You didn't tell me there was a tunnel?
Oh, not only that, the logging locos even know about it, yet they never heard of Sodor. Fuck off. And Thomas suggests they use a tunnel. Again, fuck off. But as they are deep enough into the tunnel, they see the track is blocked. Thomas and the logging locos literally get trapped. Thomas and the others try to push the rubble until the logging locos run out of oil. When Thomas finally realizes his decisions were wrong, then more rocks fell, a hole is made, and the idea of the smoke signal thing came to the logging locos. So they know about that too. So Thomas puffs some smoke, the mist suddenly lifts, and Percy immediately thinks it's Thomas.
It's Thomas! He must be on Misty Island!
But that could be anyone, Percy. You don't know that. Not to mention, Percy knows about the tunnel too.
What about the tunnel, sir? I'm sure it's quicker.
Bruh, just why? 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 So they find Thomas and burst through the tunnel. Then Edward, Gordon, James are on Misty Island, and eventually Thomas is found. Then work continued to bring the Joby wood from Misty Island to Sodor, the search and rescue center is finished, and the film comes to a climax.
Finally!
Well, now that film is over, let's do my thoughts on it, shall we? I could probably go on about this film, but I want to start on the positive side first before we move on to the negative side. Well, despite the film being on a budget, the animation is actually pretty decent quality. The lighting on the sets do set on an actual mood to the scenes, especially when Thomas is on Misty Island. I give a thumbs up. The voice acting is great too. You can tell they really do try to bring the characters to life. Michael Brendan's narration is really good as well. In most scenes, especially when the raft breaks from the steamship, he knows how to set the mood with the narration voice he has.
Thomas couldn't see anything, but he could hear something. It was a creak, and a crunch, and then a crack, and a splash. Thomas was scared.
Fizzling fireboxes! The chain to the steamboat has snapped! Help!
Now Diesel wanted to stop, but he couldn't. The heavy flatbeds were pulling him to the edge of the cliff. Diesel wasn't smiling now. Help! Help! Thomas screeched to a stop. He was scared.
I'm sure Michelangelos did a great job too, but Michael Brendan's narration really brought the film to life. There are a couple clips in this film that I actually liked. Thomas chuffing down the line on Misty Island as a mist was in front of him, and my personal favorite, the clip where the tracks go through what looks like it used to be an old tree, but made it as if it's a tunnel. Now that is really cool if you ask me. As I said before, the detail on the animation is fantastic, the atmosphere is brilliant, and the voice acting and narration does make the film more watchable. Even the camera vibrating as the engines pass by it when they're close enough is a super nice touch as well. Now let's get on to the negative side. While I did say the animation looks so great and detailed, looking at the ocean, the water just doesn't seem to look quite right. I mean, yeah, you can tell it's obviously water, but I think when it comes to the waves themselves, that's when they don't look good. Especially the waves crashing onto objects like the raft or on Misty Island. That's one thing to say about the animation side. This one I had to save the best for last. I feel like what lets this film down most is the writing. So many people in the Thomas community, like I said at the beginning of the video, say it's the writing that's bad, and I could not agree more. I feel the writing is either too paced or they just didn't care. I think you can even tell in one of the scenes at Tin Michet's when Thomas said,
I feel badly.
Don't even get me started on the rhymes. I swear, every 0.5 seconds, there was a rhyme after rhyme after fucking rhyme.
Diesels are no good, the steamies always say. But I'll show them they're wrong by the end of the day.
Be the most useful. I'll be the best one. I'll huff and I'll puff till the job is well done. I make good decisions, that's what I was told. I will not be fearful, I'll be brave and bold.
That was the most annoying part of the whole film, but even that's nothing. Don't get me started on Ferdinand with his famous catchphrase.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Silence!
There's also some parts of this film that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like that random tunnel by the rescue center, that actually leads to Misty Island. Even some characters like Percy or the logging engines that suddenly knew about this tunnel, Sir Topham Hatt didn't know about it until Whiff pointed it out. Same goes to the floating raft Thomas is loaded onto behind the ship. Why was there a floating raft? Especially if the chains were rusty upon breaking. They didn't even give a real reason as to why it's even there. I get it, they're trying to give a reason as to how Thomas stumbled upon Misty Island, but they couldn't find a better reason for him to do so. Let me know in the comments on a great reason Thomas could have stumbled upon Misty Island. But yes, the writing just feels weak, the story makes little to no sense, the rhymes are just annoying overall. So what are my final thoughts on this film? Well, sorry about this bro, I know you use this meme, but I'm gonna use it too.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
Yeah, with the writing, the storytelling, and a few stuff that didn't make a bit of sense, I give this film a 2 out of 10. I feel like even that is a too generous score, but the animation, the voice acting, and narration is what made the film watchable at least. But the rhymes and Ferdinand's annoying catchphrase, as well as the bad writing, just made me want to turn the movie off completely. Oh boy, what a movie that was. This was actually my first ever scripted review I've ever written, and let me tell you, after rewatching Misty Island Rescue, oh my god, I just could not tell you how annoyed I was when I rewatched it after all these years later. My god, them rhymes were really doing my head in. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you like Misty Island Rescue? Let me know in the comments below. I most certainly didn't enjoy it, but hey, it's Thomas nonetheless. And leave a like on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you're new, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss out on every single video I upload. Let me know if you like movie reviews like this. This is my first one. I hope I did a great job at it, even if it wasn't so positive, but this is something that's been stuck in my head, and I just thought I'd do it, you know? But yeah, let me know if you want me to do another review, or comment down below on what movie review I should do next, because I actually had a little bit of fun making this in a way. Didn't have fun watching the movie though, but yeah, I had fun writing the script. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This may have been my biggest review in a way, but yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.